quiet.
Cool. I'll get it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to a special installment of Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, I got a phone call early this morning from Tommy Balsamic. He's the CEO and founder of California Balsamic Vinegar, saying he's on his way to Phoenix for a festival. Could he stop by? Could we do a video? And I'm like, this is like the worst week because I'm doing book promotions and I'm doing like 8 hours of stuff a day and demos, and I don't have time to go to the store. He goes, well, just make something up. So that's what we're doing. I had some California balsamic. I have all that flavors, but I had the mandarin orange, which is the newest flavor. And Tommy said, why don't you do something with tofu? And I'm like, okay, so I'm making this recipe up off the top of my head with what I had in the house. We're calling it Sesame Orange Tofu. And we are going to create it right now in front of you. And hopefully people are there because I don't see anybody, but hopefully this is working. Let me check. You never know sometimes. Yep, looks like I'm live. Okay, I just don't see anything in the restream, but I wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So I'm going to go to the kitchen now and say,
Hi, Chef. Come on down.
all right. I can't tell. It's very hard to tell if people are there when I'm not at the computer. Anyway, guys, remember Tommy? So what I'm going to do, I've got a pot, right? Not a pot. This is a saute pan, and I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to start preheating it as soon as I like. There we go. So I want to get it nice and hot using the ingredients I had. So this is the mandarin orange. It's the newest flavor, and you can see how much I love it. There's hardly any in there because it makes the best orange soda. There's a couple videos on this YouTube channel of how I use it. So all I did is I took the tofu, I took the firm tofu, the water packed, and I marinated it for as long as I could. And I kind of moved the cubes around and I turned them around. So that's all I did so far. I only had about a half an onion in the house, half a red onion. And so that's what I'm using. So I'm going to go saute that in a minute. Now, ideally, I would want to air fry these, but I don't think I have enough time because I have a show pretty soon. So I'm going to cook them in the pan. But I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with onion, ginger, and garlic, right? So I've got my little clever Tupperware pulley thing for my garlic. Hey, maybe you can check on your phone if I'm really live, because I'm not in that room to know. I love this because it chops it so fine. And I have a few sesame seeds left. So we're going to just put this together. I love this kind of cooking, by the way, like it's like the Iron Chef, where it's like, this is what I had in the house. This is what we're going with. So my pan is probably hot now, and I'm just going to put the onion in. You can hear it, that it's hot and it's going to sizzle. So here's what I'm going to do. People think you need oil to cook. The only thing that needs oil is carbs. You don't need oil to cook. You don't need it to bake. But you do need sometimes to put something in the pan, like a little water or a little broth. I am so short. You know, I had Steve Middleman on yesterday, and all you 6-footers and above make me feel so short. So anytime I need liquid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use
some of the balsamic.
Yeah, and I'm not going to even use the fresh one. I'm just going to use what is in the pan. So Thomas used to live in Japan. He's eaten a lot of tofu, but mostly in Asia, they serve things over rice. I don't have any rice cooked. So 1 bag of organic rice from Trader Joe's, 3 minutes in the microwave.
Easy.
We are going to have rice. People, oh, look at him. He's professional.
I've been doing this a long time.
He doesn't even use a spatula. Whoa.
I've been getting my bride Ethel to practice doing this to a little flip on here. And that's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So we just want to get this nice and, a little bit more caramelized. And when the pan starts to feel like it's a little dry, we're just going to use this as our liquid. And that's going to give it a lot of flavor. So look at that. Once we got that, oh, this is going to be delicious. So where did you think of doing an orange flavor? Whose idea was it?
My darling bride Ethel said we need to do an orange because we've got a couple of popular flavors to the general public that are orange oil and balsamic. And we said, well, we can't do that with the SOS free community. So we said, let's just do a straight orange balsamic. And we did, and it's turned out to be a great hit. And like you said, Chef, putting it into fresh fruit or into sodas is just fabulous.
It really does taste like soda when you put it in soda water. It's quite delicious. We just want to cook this up, and we can't rush it. It is on high heat, so We don't want to waste. There we go. And we'll get the garlic in, but I don't know about you, but I always cook my onion before I add my garlic.
Yes, because the garlic will burn. Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna, I promise we'll talk to you while I go cut up this little piece of ginger over here.
So it turns out that my wife Ethel and I are on our way out to Phoenix to do a festival. We're setting up our show in downtown Tempe, Arizona this afternoon. And then we're gonna do our festival Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Chef, I didn't tell you, Diane Devon, one of our friends from the comedy class that we've done over the years, is going to be at the event tomorrow. So I'm gonna get a big kick of meeting her for the first time, even though we've chatted many, many times on Zoom during our classes. But this will be the first time I'm actually meeting her. So,
Yeah, so if you live anywhere near Phoenix, come see him in person. You know, I'm gonna take this ginger and actually see if it'll work in this little tool. I don't know if it will, but maybe it will, and I can
give it a little buzz.
You could also put it in a ginger press too, you know? So let's see. Oh yeah, these are cooking up nice. This is almost done. I like them nice and caramelized, just a few more minutes, and then we'll add our ginger. You can also smell when it's done too. I mean, there we go. And that's one thing I always tell people, you know, use what you have, you know, I mean, there's always a recipe to be made from just what's in the house.
Yep.
So let's see if this works on ginger too. Onion itself in the vinegar smells amazing. Yeah, it did. It took it real nice.
Oh,
so now I'm going to add my ginger and my garlic to give it a nice flavor profile. If I had time, I would toast my sesame seeds, but I need another pan for that to dry it. So we're going to add that ginger and garlic.
Chef, about the sesame seeds, because they actually have a little bit of oil that will be released in there, is that okay to have?
Oh yeah, whole food plant fats are completely fine.
Good.
So now the pan's getting a little bit dry. So what do? We just add a little bit more of the marinade liquid. And again, I think that I would have liked to have air fried these cubes for about 20 minutes, but I have to do a show soon. So I'm just going to pan fry them, or I should say pan unfry them. But this is going to make an amazing thick. It's like, you know, when you think about the glazes on Asian food, it's a lot of corn, corn starch.
Right.
The vinegar is thick enough. It's going to be fantastic. So this smells amazing. So now I'm going to put the cubes in. And we're just going to cook it like this.
That's
until they're
gorgeous.
brown. I'm going to turn these down just a
smells
little. It smells
wonderful.
incredible. I mean, you know, Chinese food is delicious, but generally it has a lot of oil in it. This will not have any oil. And that's why people go, why do you like these vinegars so much? Because I don't eat oil, sugar, and salt. And they are just the most wonderful condiments. So we're just going to let this cook down. And then when it's done, I'm going to put the rice on a plate. I'm going to put this over the rice and I'm going to sprinkle it with some of these sesame seeds. And that is that.
Chef, you're a pro.
Well, thanks. And by the way, I can't give you the recipe because I just made it up. Watch the video. I didn't even measure how much vinegar. I just poured the vinegar so that the tofu cubes could soak in them as long as possible. And then I flip them over. So we're just going to cook this down. Basically, this is like deglazing the pan with the vinegar. So as soon as it's cooked down, it's done. But like I said, if I had more time, I would have air fried the cubes and then I would have put it in like this. But it's still going to be fine. It's still going to be quite delicious this way. Oh, wow. It smells amazing. Now, do you like a little heat in yours?
I put just very little because
Right.
I think sweet heat is as hot as I ever go.
Right. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I would do if I was eating it myself. Hold on.
Will it be serranos? Will it be cayenne pepper? Will
Just
it
a
be
little bit of red pepper.
Oh, easy.
Because this is traditionally, I would think, not a lot. I'm just going to shake it up on high.
And you can always add more heat.
But just a
it's more
sprinkle.
difficult to
It's
take
just
it
a
off.
sprinkle. I would say that was maybe an eighth of a teaspoon, a quarter. But I think it needs it. I mean, I didn't taste it.
You're a spicy young woman,
Yeah.
so there's no doubt.
But
appreciate it.
I always do whatever I think it needs. I do half as much because I know Charles personally doesn't like hot food, but a little bit you need, I think.
Charles, you and I are members of the Spicy Wimp Club.
So again, this is amazing. I can already tell you this is going to be delicious, but if you have the time, air fry the cubes, maybe at 10 minutes at 420, depending on your air fryer, and then put them in the glaze. This is basically done. I was worried we weren't going to get done in time, but we sure are. And this is going to be
almost like a mapow tofu, but it's an orange sesame glazed tofu. Okay, so we are done. Let's plate this up for you. And we're just gonna put it on a plate. Oh man, this is gonna be delicious. You know, I would like Charles to taste this, but let's put it on another plate. So here we go. And then we're just gonna put these cubes over the rice.
Because the tofu just needs to be thoroughly heated up.
Yeah, this is gonna be amazing, actually. All right, let's just pour it over. Look at that. Whoa. I mean, this is amazing. And what did we do this? How many minutes did it take us? Didn't take us long
Barely
at
10
all.
for the whole
Look
thing.
at that. So if you have a bottle of California balsamic in the house and a few simple ingredients, why pay for Chinese takeout or go to a restaurant where it's full of oil, sugar, and salt? Once again, California balsamic to the rescue. Here we have sesame orange glazed tofu, courtesy of California Balsamic. This is Tommy Balsamic, the CEO and founder, who created all these wonderful flavors. Thanks, everyone, and take care.
Bye now.